Okay, let's go and jump some rank games with the adventure and see what we can do today. So we're rocking the Sun Kiss. We do get a magic badge if we do want it. But let's take our broom for now. Let's go and take our magic badge. If we want to piggy bank, if we were the other bag, I would gladly take it. Since it is on sale, I'm going to grab it and I'm going to roll once. And we could grab a Wand of Equilibrium as well. But I'm not sure if I do want it. So I'm not going to take it. I'm going to roll once more. And I'm looking to grab ourselves a bit of twine. And honestly, we probably should have taken this out as we roll. To be honest. So I'm going to take it out. And I'm still going to roll once. And I will be taking this big old banana. Which means I'm going to sell 2 for stones. 2 take it for now. And we do get a pair of gloves on sale. I'm going to grab. But this is going to be round 1. It's not going to be super fantastic. But we got super lucky. And we faced an adventure with a bag of giving, going for a big old risky move of a bunch of value. Now, honestly, might as well sell your bags if you're doing something like this and just keep your bag of giving, to be honest. But who knows? We should be able to win out. It's not even going to be close. They literally do nothing except get a bit of block. So, smashing for us. Not complaining. Definitely not complaining if we do get a free win, to be honest. Now, I'm going to take this. Let's craft up a boomerang. Let's take our gloves. Let's take this too. And do we try to go for multiple boomerangs? Well, to be honest, I do want multiple twines. I'm going to roll it once, and I do want to grab more storage. I'm also going to take this shiny shell, and I am going to venture on it. I do not want to craft up a rope, but I am going to venture on with this. So we should be able to get a little bit of max life, potentially, hopefully, whenever we do trigger our broom. With a twine. Since we have 3 twines, we should be in a pretty good spot to stack up a little bit more max life. And our shiny shell does give us a bit of a heal also. But can we take on this big old berserker? Rocking a shovel with double bananas, potentially. Maybe. Because they are going to get battle rage and they are going to trigger their shovel with their bananas a little bit faster. Also. And it's actually looking super close. But a shield putting in a lot of work, eating up her stamina, and unfortunately, are we going to be able to win out? Definitely not. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Now we do have Chasemek. We could go double rainbow boomerangs and start stealing a bunch of buffs and duplicate them, which is kind of funny. You can also go Daggerbangs Turn Burst, so we stun, but I think I'm actually going to take Slime Time. I want to go Slime Time because today I'm going to possibly go for a Dragonite. So we want to be on the lookout for some Ruby Bulbs. So let's grab our little Gooblings. I'm going to grab a lump of coal. I'm going to roll once, and I will be grabbing this Stamina Stack. I kind of actually want to save our golds. Since I'm playing Bag of Giving, I don't really want to roll. We could also take the Magic for Dummies for even more max life stacking. It is 4 golds. Not sure if I really do want that. You know, I'm still going to take it. I'm going to take it because we could potentially end up getting some scrolls, which could be kind of nice, but yeah, it should be okay. And we are going to be getting a False Life, triple Wand of Equilibriums. They're going to be stacking up a lot of buffs. We're going to be getting some heals, but we can also steal their buffs with our super fast boomerang. And we also get tons and tons of heals with our little Gooblings and our Gooberts and our Slime Time. So we should be in a pretty good spot. Now the thing is, we are inflicting a little bit of blind, but our opponent is also inflicting blinds. But they have more luck than us, but we're also stealing their luck. But if we don't hit with our boomerang, we don't actually steal their buffs. But so far it's not looking too bad. We got a lot of max life actually. And awesome. Smashing even. Now we do only have a 10% chance for a mana orb, which is exactly what I'm going to be looking for. I do want to craft up a staff. I also have a 1% chance for legendary. So we don't necessarily actually really want to roll this round. So we could also grab a spell scroll growth, but I don't really want to. I will take this. Amulet of Energy is definitely awesome. So we really want to go for a staff type build. It's also going to be nice with our Magic for Dummies, but it is going to be very, very slow. And I'm actually just going to rock on with 5 extra gold, as crazy as that sounds. But I do want to do a lot of rolling in the next round. Try to find some blueberries, trying to find some magic or mana orbs. But can we beat down this other ranger? Well, to be honest, I do like the boomerang quite a bit, and especially with all our heals. All we do is just survive 2 steal their buffs and basically use their buffs against them, and not too bad. Now we have higher chances to find rare. I do want to find a customer card because I do want to find some legendary items. So we grab our storage. I'm actually going to take out our magic badge because I do not really want to find any magic or mages items. We could take the Wand of Equilibrium, but I'm going to roll. We could go for a Dagger Rang. We'll take a twine since it is on sale. And I'm going to roll. I'm actually going to take the eye lamp for some scaling damage. It's also going to be heats, which I do want to grab, as well as our fanny pack, and I want to roll again. And actually smashing. I did not think we're actually going to find a mana orb this early on. So I'm going to sell you, and we're either going to have to sell a shiny shell and a twine or our piggy bank. I do want to keep our twines though, so we can craft up some dragonites. So I'm going to sell our piggy bank. And yeah, we're going to be crafting this up. I'm going to be venturing on with this. So we have scaling damage on our big old boomerang, which should be amazing. And we should be able to duplicate some of our buffs with our magic badge as well. So we're going to be stacking mana like there's no tomorrow until we get our magic staff. But we do start off with 5 mana, which is going to be incredibly awesome. And since we do have our amulet of energy, we should be able to refund some of our buffs also. We are taking on the Gooberts with Mana Mastery. And lucky for us, they don't have that magic staff crafted up just yet. And we're actually stealing all their buffs. So we're going to get to our big mana buff bomb before them. And hell yeah, we just got it in time to smash down that opponent. Holy moly. We're going for a cupcake staff. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we really do want to go for cupcake staff. We're going to be crafting up another burning coal. And I will be taking another little goobling for now also. Now I still kind of want to roll because I do want to find ourselves a customer card, which we didn't get. Set of ways I will be grabbing. And yeah, we're going to be moving on. So we kind of actually want to be stacking up heats with our cupcake staff, the mage's staff. Heat is an insane way to get a bunch of buffs. Now this opponent is dealing some insane damage with a burning blade, claws attack, and with Shelly's they're going to get lots of heals. And unfortunately, with the damage they did have, we just could not keep up, which is not ideal. We did get a cupcake staff. Let's grab ourselves the race. You could grab it in a practically large great sword, but I'm going to roll. Now speaking of nuts, a badge of Spirit Companion is going to be crazy good. I'm also going to take this too, and I'm going to roll again. We do get another Gooberts, which I don't necessarily really want. I'm also going to increase the speed on our Badge of Spirit Companion, so we are going to be run through mana like there's no tomorrow. So we could end up stacking up heats instead of our mana. Since you're going to use up 3 mana, we should go down to 2 mana, and it is going to be actually, no, we're going to be stacking mana, which is not ideal. So we might actually want to sell our magic badge, because we just want to go infinite on heats, to be honest. But if you do get a mana orb, we do get a big mana buff bomb, and then we are in a pretty good spot also. But it also kind of relies on what we're going to be stealing with our boomerang, to be honest. But not looking too bad. We've got a lot of health and smashing. And we do get a couple of chase smack. We could take the turtle, and if we're going heat stacking, we could go turbo turtle, which I actually do like quite a bit. So you know what? I'm going to take it. Let's take turtle. Let's try to make a turbo. Let's grab you. Okay, don't necessarily want that. I also really want to grab this for now also. And I want to take you as I roll once again. And that is a Dragonite. We're going to go for Dragonite. Hell yeah. Let's grab you too. Now the turtle really isn't going to do too much for us. Do we sell our mage's badge, by the way? So you don't have as much mana starting off. Well, we could keep our mage's badge if we do get a ruby egg. So I think I'm going to hold on for now. I'm also going to sell you because I do want to grab this big old banana. So we have a little bit of stamina for ourselves, and I am going to venture on. And we should be in a pretty good spot once we grab a ruby egg, because that is going to be 4 heats from the get-go. And it should be amazing. Potentially. But we are going to begin another quadruple one of Equilibriums with a Spectromancer, and they're going to get some crits on their broom. But the good thing for us is they don't have a magic staff just yet. But they are going turbo stacking in power with those ones. It's actually pretty decent. And they're going to get lots and lots of damage on that broom. So the longer the fight goes on, the more trouble we're actually going to be in. And we haven't stolen one single bit of power with our boomerang, unfortunately. But can we still win out? Actually, not looking too bad. Hell yeah. Let's grab our ruby egg. Let's sell one of these twines so we can grab this bit of storage. And you know what we should be doing? We should have had our freaking staff inside our sewing kit. So we have a 15% chance to duplicate their buffs and also increasing the speed of it. Also, which now we should be able to get Turbo Turtle online. We should be able to get a lot of heats from the get-go. And we're going to see if this is going to be good enough. Potentially. So, with our mana, we should be able to activate it, and we should be able to get our heat stacked up and make this Turbo Turtle go nuts. Get an insane amount of block, 20% of our max life, basically every couple of seconds is going to be nuts. That's a lot of poison stacked up on us with a snake, with a poison goobert, and a dead sight. Especially with heavy drinking. And we haven't stacked up as much heat as I'd like because we don't have enough mana generation, unfortunately. So we kind of actually bit ourselves in the butt a little bit with that. And we could go double rainbow for duplicating buffs, but I don't really want that. What I do want to grab is stone for 20% damage reduction. It's going to be crazy not to take that. We could also grab a shields, which we really should. We also need more mana generation, so I'm not going to take it just yet. Although we could take it and craft up a moon shield. But I'm not going to take it. I'm going to grab Celebrity. Let's grab this too. Let's roll again. Vampiric Armor could go a long way since it is on sale. I'm going to grab it. Let's grab you too. Hammer of Life. Yeah, I'm going to sell it. Another fanny pack though I will gladly take. And I'm thinking about selling this. I'm going to craft up a Goobert though. And we should be in a better spot with our setup. The thing is, you're going to be using mana. And we do need to get 3 mana, and you're triggered just in time to stop our Cupcake Staff from actually consistently scaling up our heats. But will an extra blueberries actually help us out? It's kind of looking like so. Potentially. It is a little bit slow though. 1 mana orb and that's sorted. Literally. But Turbo Turtle is going to be giving us more block. With a Badger, it's going to give us more block consistently as well. So it's a nice little combo between the two. And hell yeah. Awesome. We're going to get a Gooberts and we're going to hatch up our Dragon also. We can also grab a bird if you want to. But I don't necessarily want to. I want to grab another cell blueberries. I'm going to roll once. I kind of want to grab another eye lamp for, honestly, just more heat from the very beginning. So we don't have to worry too much about that. But I will grab that storage. And yeah, I'm going to grab this eye lamp. Now, Fanfare is going to be some more mana. It's also going to be some power. So I might actually take that. But I am going to venture on. We are going to craft up this dragon tonight. And it should be fantastic. Especially since we're going to be turbo stacking heat. We're going to have it going incredibly fast, give us tons and tons and tons of heals, to be honest. But we do really need to find one single mana orb, and we have that consistent heat gained like crazy. But so far, not even going to be close. Hell yeah. Awesome even. Let's get our Dragonite. Smashing. Now we could also grab Prismatic Orb, but the problem with grabbing a Prismatic Orb is it gives us a ton of mana from the very beginning, which we do not want. Now something really important to know is Slime Time actually doesn't affect Dragonite, which I thought was going to be doing, to be honest, since you are Gooberts. But since you don't actually have an item activation like the little Goobling here, being 3 item activations, yeah, it doesn't technically work. It does increase your cooldown or advance your cooldown, which I thought that still triggered that, but unfortunately doesn't look like it. So Slime Time, Dragonite, not as good as I thought it was going to be. Now we do really want to be careful on what we're stacking up, but I will take a Fanfare. We do not want to be stacking up too much mana. Now we could still hold on to them and look for a Paradise Burp. I also really want to sort our inventory out, but I kind of want to take this. I'm going to sell you, and I'm going to sell you too, and I will be taking our Encyclopedia of Darkness, and we're going to see how much mana we're going to be stacking up, because we could be in trouble if we do start to generate more mana than our Cupcake Staff. So we do want our Amulet of Energy to be targeting this, and we want to move our gloves to this side also. So yeah, we're going to have our gloves target our Cupcake for now, and we're going to have our Amulet of Energy also target him. Now our little Goobling is going to be an activator for our Dragonite, which I kind of do like, especially if we're going to go super fast with this. And yeah, we're going to actually still take our Prismatic Orb, but let's go ahead and venture on. But we'll see, because we are going to begin a Molten Greatsword with a Burning Sword and Turbo Shellies. Now it's super fun, awesome build. Potentially, but we have way more consistent mana, we have way more consistent heat stacking, and we're going to be getting our Turbo Turtle going nuts. Every 3 seconds, get 20% for health, has block. And how fast is this going? 0.7 cooldown, not too bad. Now Slime Time would have been crazy strong with the Dragonite, to be honest. Maybe a little bit too strong. I'm going to grab you, let's grab a little Goobling, let's roll once. And do we want any of this stuff? Honestly, I want a second Dragonite. So I'm going to keep rolling. Another Gooberts, customer card, so we can try to find some godly items. I'm going to take it, but I'm also going to take this bit of storage, and I'm going to roll once more. If we do get another Cupcake, which I'm going to have to grab. And I don't necessarily actually want to use this to get a bunch of mana from the very beginning, but we could actually keep it in to get a bunch of random buffs every 7 seconds, especially since we're going heat stacking as well. So I'm kind of down for him. We're also going to reserve this, and I'm going to venture on. So we should be in a fantastic spot to be taking on big old double X with some crits, with a broccoli goobert also. Because with the heat stacking, we're going to get this Badger Spirit Companion to be going nuts, stacking up our max life. We're going to have an insane block with the Turbo Turtle. And hell yeah. Smashing. So we actually only end with a 41 DPS, which is not too bad at this point of the game. Our opponent does have 32 DPS. As for heals, we do end up with a 30 healing per second, which is still not too bad. And 11 max health gains per second with our Badger Spirit Companion. And as for block, 102 block gained, which honestly I thought was going to be better. But with the turtle, every round is going to be better for us because we're going to be getting max life per round. So now let's grab you. Let's grab this too. And I'm at a life. Actually not bad. That's going to be super quick rounds. Yeah, I'm going to be venturing on once again. Now we are going to begin another double X, except this time they're rocking Tim. But we should be able to get our heat stacked up insanely fast. But I do also really want to grab another ruby egg, to be honest. But also with a super fast boomerang, we can also steal our opponent's buffs, which is kind of nice. Also, just powering us up a little bit. And smashing 100 heat. Amazing. We can also just be lamping. We do get blocked from a Turbo Turtle, so you know what, I'm going to take it. I'm going to roll once. We can trade it for a Heart of Darkness, which I don't think I would ever do. But I do kind of want to grab our shields, to be honest, because we have a turtle and we never took the shields to block 100% more damage. But I'm going to venture on. So a lot of items I still want to grab. And we are going to begin another Cupcake Staff. They're going to be going crazy on heat as well. But who's going to stack up more heats? And who's going to have more block? And who's going to be more defensive? Who's going to have more damage? They're definitely going faster on heats for sure because they have so much duplicating buffs. And unfortunately, they lived on 1 HP. That was kind of crazy. Super unfortunate, it is what it is. Now, we definitely will not be able to get another Dragonite, unfortunately. And I did want to grab the shield, but I also kind of just want to grab the fanfare. I'm going to roll down. Let's grab you. We do get a Paradise Burb, and I do want to grab that too. So I'm going to sell our customer card. And I'm going to sell our Amulet Life too. And yeah, we're going to craft out that Paradise Burb. Do we want to put in our shield as well? Yeah, this is going to be much, much better. Once we do get our Paradise Burb, we're going to be making everything go faster anyway. And we're going to be stacking up a lot of buffs. But we also block a lot more damage with our shield as well. I'd like to grab ourselves a Moon Shield so we have crazy mana stacking. But then it defeats the purpose of stacking up our heat. So, unironically, we probably want to grab ourselves a Heart Shield. But this should be amazing. Another heat stacking opponents. Now, this is actually kind of crazy. This Turbo Shelly is literally turbo. And that's going to be infinite heals. Infinite heals versus infinite block. It's not really infinite block when we're out stamina all the time with our Cupcake Staff. But can we actually still keep up? Maybe. Who knows? Because they have crazy absurd buffs. And holy moly, this Turbo Shelly is literally defined as turbo. And it's probably going to be the longest fight in history. Maybe. Because we have 1800 block. Still going up. Nearly 2000 block. We're stacking up max life as well. And we have crazy stacking because each bit of max life is going to increase our Turbo Turtle's blocking. We have way more block than our opponent's max life, which is kind of funny. And we're potentially stealing a lot of their buffs with our Boomerang at 0.4 seconds. And I think this fight is it going to last for more than a minute? That fatigue is chipping them down. You see their HP actually dropping down? Just a small bit. We're still stacking up our block. And I think we have created a crazy build. They have so much buffs. It's kind of amazing. That's almost 510 freaking fatigue. And we got the trophy for winning the fight after 45 seconds. So the fight actually lasted 62 seconds. And most of their DPS came from fatigue. Only DPS came from fatigue. And we dealt 20,000 damage. Dragonite doing 158 DPS, which is kind of nuts because every time we do activate anything beside it, it does advance the cooldown on it. So heat stacking with the Dragonite is kind of crazy. Then fatigue damage, then our boomerangs and our cupcake staff. I'm curious to see how much heals we had. 60 healing per second at the point at the end of the game. Our opponent had 540 healing per second with 35,000 healing. Well, 34,000. Huge amount of heals. And as for block, 100 block per second, almost 6,500 block. Some difference in having 6,500 block in compared to having 34,000 healing. And we did have 1,000 max health gained as well. But yeah, super interesting build. Turbo Shelly. Literally Turbo Shelly. But we do have 2 more rounds to go. And we're about to get a Paradise Burb, which is going to be awesome. But let's grab you. Treasury, we do get another Eye Lamp, which is kind of amazing. I'm going to roll. And we finally get ourselves a Mana Orb also. Now, are we going to screw ourselves over if we do craft up a Moon Shield? Because Moon Shield will be consistent mana gains. It blocks ranged damage as well. I'm not sure if I do want to risk it. Unfortunately, you just came in a little bit too late. I'd love to grab a second Dragonite, to be honest. I'm going to grab this bit of storage and I'm going to continue to roll. I'm going to roll once more. I'm going to sell our Eye Lamp. I'm going to sell this bit of storage. And I'm just going to take this for now as well. As for second banana, I kind of do want to add it in because we do have a lot of heat stacking, so a little bit more stamina would go a long way. Potentially. But I am going to venture on with this. I'm not going to craft up our Moon Shields. We're going to have to stick with the Shield of Valor, which only blocks melee weapons. But it's going to have to do for now. Now, if we stack up enough mana, we are going to get a big mana buff bomb, but our opponent is looking kind of scary with that double axe, to be honest, because they do stun us a little bit, stopping us from activating their stuff, and holy moly, not even close. What am I talking about? Hell yeah. Now, unfortunately, it's a little bit too late for this. The Heart Shield would have been smashing, because it gives us a bunch of max life. It stacks up our regen also, up to 20, and it does give us a bunch of more max life, which would have been perfect for the turtle. But if you had 1 more rounds, I would gladly do it. But we don't. So I'm going to just move on for now. And actually, taking those spell scrolls to actually slow down our opponents with cold would have been awesome too. Now, do I want you? Every 3 seconds, item triggers 10% faster, but inflict blind on herself. I don't really want blind. We don't really cleanse debuffs, but making Turbo Turtle even more turbo sounds like a lot of fun, but I'm not going to take it. And I'm going to keep rolling. Let's grab you. Might be something awesome. I'm in a way this is actually pretty decent if we do stack up spikes. So I'm happy enough with that, to be honest. I'm going to roll again. Another Prismatic Orb would be nice. Should we actually take a wand? Because it will be stacking up more buffs for us. It's going to be stacking up our power, which does increase our damage overall. You know, I'm going to take it. We did skip on a few. I'm going to roll once more. And we do get another bird, which I'd love to grab also. But yeah, what a super fun build. A Dragonite and a Turbo Turtle. What else more could you want? With a Paradise Burb for duplicating buffs, it should be genuinely smashing. And also Jin's Lamp to be lamping our Dragonite as well, since we're going to get a ton of block with a turtle. Now the turtle with the Badger Spirit Companion, what a crazy combo, to be honest. Stacks max life, turns our max life into block. Incredibly awesome. And you know what, let's go and see if this is going to be good enough. Is this Dragonite, Cupcake Staff, Paradise Burb actually going to win out? Maybe. Potentially. We're going to slow this one down. We are going to begin a Flame Up, Jin's Lamp, Sun Armor type build. They're going to get lots of crit damage, so we could be in trouble. And if they do lamp their Flame Up, we could be in trouble, but it's not looking like so. Unless they get insanely fast, which is definitely going to be a possibility, they could potentially get their spike stacked up eventually. However, we're actually stacking up more heat than they are, which is kind of funny that the Flame Up does less heat stacking than the mage's new staff. And yeah, it's not even going to be close, and it's smashing. And this Dragonite dealing about 87 DPS, which is kind of nuts, with 117 DPS Cupcake Staff, as well as another 22 DPS Boomerang. Now we actually didn't need this, but I thought it was a lot of fun just to have that in, steal buffs, to be honest. Now in terms of DPS, we did have an 80 DPS. Our opponents did have a lot less DPS, but you gotta remember that with Stoned, we take 20% less damage, and we also take 100%, we block 100% more damage with our shield. So Stoned, Turtle, the only thing we needed was Shielded. If we did have Shield instead of Slime Time, since Dragonite doesn't actually use Slime Time, this would have been an even better combo. But yeah, we did end up with 80 DPS, with heals, about 30 healing per second, with 11 max health gain per second, and as for block, not a whole lot of block, to be honest, 40 block. Pretty defensive. It goes infinite, but it really does kind of go infinite. But we did have our Turbo Turtle at 2.5 seconds. But anyways, we did survive with 3 lives left. Let's go and see just how much rank points we managed to get. Plus 22. Not too bad. Ranking us up to Diamond. Smashing. But I'm going to leave it here for now. Just want to say thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, comment, or even subscribing. And I hope to keep looking for the next one. And see you next time. Okay, we're back in some round 18 fights, and we're going to see what we can do. We're going to begin a Cursed Dagger, Deadside type build. They're going to be trying to inflict a bunch of debuffs on us. And you know what? Maybe one Shelly would have been smashing in her build to cleanse those debuffs, because that's one thing we do kind of lack. But can we still beat them down? Hell yeah. Now, we're going to begin the mage with a Cupcake Staff. They're going to try to be going heat stacking as well. So can we actually keep up? Because they do have a little chestnut too. They're definitely getting their heat stacking a little bit faster, actually. Yeah, definitely faster. So we could be in trouble, once again. However, we're dealing some big damage and it's not even close. Hell yeah. Now, actually, this is a crazy looking build. Double card goobers with a big bullet trees and a Thorn Bloom. The only thing they're missing is a second Thorn Bloom, because they would be getting insane max life stacking. But I mean, this little badger here is going to be crazy because we're actually stacking up pretty decent max life and amazing.